everybody, my name is Greg Slone and this is another episode of Drum Power. We're coming to you here from my teaching facility, which is located in Ludlow, Kentucky, just about 5 minutes outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. So the last video I did was for beginning drummers. So we went through some very basic things for the beginning drummer, including the grip, the stroke, how you're actually going to use your wrist action when you're hitting the drum. And we also went through 3 basic rudiments: the single stroke roll, the double stroke roll, and the paradiddle. So in this episode, I'm still going to keep this for beginning level drummers. This is some basic stuff. We're just going to go over learning how to play some basic drum beats. So we're going to be using, for those of you that have drum sets at home, we're going to be using the hi-hats, we're going to be using the snare drum, and we're going to be using the bass drum with our foot pedal. So probably the most basic beat you can possibly learn to start with is this one. I'm just going to demonstrate it first and then we're going to break it down. Okay, so let's break that beat down for those of you who don't already have that mastered. So what we're playing on the hi-hat pattern is eighth notes, straight eighth notes across the board, which we count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's all you're doing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Over and over. Keep it nice and smooth and steady. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Straight eighth notes. What our bass drum pattern is playing is a quarter note pattern. It's a quarter note on 1, a quarter rest on 2, a quarter note on 3, and a quarter rest on 4. So it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is going to play along with the straight eighth note pattern on the hi-hat. So it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You're going to do that over and over. Now the snare part is another quarter note pattern. That's going to be a quarter rest on 1, a quarter note on 2, a quarter rest on 3, and a quarter note on 4. So that part goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you've probably already noticed or figured out that the bass drum part and the snare drum part are playing opposite of each other. So our bass drum plays on the 1 and 3 notes, and the snare plays on the 2 and 4. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We play our eighth note pattern on the hi-hat on top of that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you have that basic beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that basic 4/4 beat, which means we're counting to 4 quarter notes in a phrase, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you can learn that basic beat, you can play with thousands of recorded songs. Any song that's in 4/4 time, that beat is going to work with. Take it another step further if you want, and you can slightly change what your bass drum is doing and or what your snare drum is doing. So simple things, like I said, master that first beat, and then maybe try to do, say, 2 eighth notes on the bass drum at the beginning of the phrase, maybe 1 and, like this, 1 and then back to the normal quarter note hit on 3. So everything's the same that we just did on that first beat, the same eighth notes on the hi-hat, the same 2 and 4 on the snare, but on the bass drum we're going to play 1 and 3. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. feeling good with that, you can move the eighth notes to a later part of the phrase. We could do the quarter note on the bass drum on 1, just like we did on the first beat, and then we could do the eighth notes on 3 and. So that would be like 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 4. If that's feeling good, you can do the eighth notes on the first phrase and that third phrase. 1 and 3 and. 1 and 2, 3 and. Okay, so right there in the course of a couple of minutes, if you're counting this all against this steady eighth note on the hi-hat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you have 4 beats that you can play. The first one was this. The second one was 1 and 2 and 3. Third one. 1 and 2 and 3 and the fourth pattern was this. So now I'm just going to mix all those up. I'm going to do the first pattern, and then go into the second pattern, and then go into the third pattern, and then go into the fourth pattern, so you can hear how they all work. Okay, so that should be enough beats or enough of an idea to get you started on how you can take a basic beat and start to add a little bit more to it. We haven't even talked about changing the snare drum, but that's easy enough to do as well. We could do that as eighth note patterns, you know, like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and something like that. So there's a lot you can do to kind of build off of that. But take that very first beat, really get comfortable with that and try it at all kinds of different tempos. Play it really slow, play it really fast, all kinds of speeds in between. And also, I would say put headphones on and try to play that beat along with a lot of songs. You'd be surprised how comfortable you can get with that and how quickly you can do it. All right. I think that covers everything we're going to talk about with these basic beats to get you started for you beginning drummers out there. And we'll see you next time. If you like these videos, please like them and share them and subscribe to this channel. And we'll see you next time.